Alright, let's go hunting for some red. I'll tag you. Let's see. You go over there. You. The guy near the tree. You guys over here. Uh-oh. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this time we're gonna go over the tier 2 classes, which are the Cyromancer of the Mage and the, let me think, I think it's the Crusader of the Paladin. Obviously shown from the video below, we're gonna go over the Cyromancer first. Now, my first thoughts of this class is that this is truly a defensive slash midfield type of class. Simply because the only advantage that this can give to your own team is a slowness effect, and the only thing I could see being useful is capture the flag, where if the enemy has your flag, you can obviously slow them down. For example, here, freezing breath, I'd use that to slow the enemy down so I could catch up to him while he's running. Yeah, go ahead, disagree. For those who use this as a offensive class, be my guest. Use it all you want. However, think of these reasons before you comment below. Number 1, your ultimate ability. Yes, the one in yellow you see on my hotbar. It decreases your damage, your damage intake by 30%. At the same time, if you get hit by anyone, you lose movement speed by 40% for 2 seconds. Some people may counter this point by saying this can be also used as a tank class. Now, for those who say this, what level are you? Now, what I noticed that high level mages about 30 and higher can actually use this as a tank class, meaning you can also use this as an offensive class. Now, for those players who are level 30 and under, please, no, excuse me, I really hope you consider using this as only for defensive purposes, because its slowness ability and its effect can actually support a lot of players on your team just by defending the flag or defending a point on domination. Remember that you are still a mage, and this is not designed for combat sessions longer than about a minute. This is usually for sniping purposes and supporting purposes. Going back to my first point, or my first tip, always use this to slow people down, especially those guys who capture your flag. Look what I'm doing here. My frostball is gonna slow him down, so I can catch up to him even faster. Freezing breath. When you're using freezing breath and if you have the enemy flag, you can its effectiveness is similar to the seismic wave of the warrior. For example, if you're using a warrior class and you have the enemy's flag and you're running, at the same time 2 guys or 3 enemy or whatever the amount of players are chasing you, you probably have done this. You have activated your ground slam or seismic wave to push them back so that way you have a greater distance between you. Right? Well, you can do the same with Cyromancer's freezing breath. If you use it on the enemies who are chasing you, you can slow them down for 4 seconds, giving you advantage on distance. Combat wise for the Cyromancer, like I said, this is only used for defensive and support classes. However, if you're limited just to fight the other opponents, you actually can by spamming all your magic. Now on to the sniping part. A few days back, Hypixel released an update nerfing the mages. Quote unquote, it says Mage primary skills, Fireball, Frostbolt, and Waterbolt now have an optimal range. When the spell travels beyond the optimal range, it starts losing 2% effectiveness for each additional block traveled, down to a minimum of 20% effectiveness. For this case, Cyromancer has an optimal range of 30 blocks, meaning after the Frostbolt travel 30 blocks, it will actually lose effectiveness, meaning the damage, and take the clip I'm showing you guys now. I'm sniping with the Mage, the Cyromancer, excuse me, and I'm just firing away, dealing 429 damage. Now, if that goes beyond 30 blocks, that damage will decrease. Probably, it says minimum of 20%. That means it can actually deal only 90 damage from very far, like that if you fire from a clip down lumber mill on domination. So really, like I said, going back to the original statement, I really think this is a defensive class because it won't do damage from afar. At the same time, its real purpose is just to slow other guys from reaching the main purpose, which is capturing the flag or capping a point of domination, or just to save a life. Let's say if someone is running with like 2 health, 2 HP, you can actually slow the guy behind them, causing a greater disadvantage for your teammate. Alright, I think that's really all the tips I could give about Cyromancer. My apologies if I do miss anything. So yeah, let's move on to the... Oh my god, I forgot. Oh yeah, the Crusaders of the Paladin. Okay, if some of you guys complain that there's no mana regen power up here, well, you got one, and that is the Crusader class of the Paladin. This class is basically restores mana of yourself and other allies by a surprisingly large amount. And yeah, let's go on with the tips, shall we? Okay, tip number 1. There is a small difference between this class and the Avenger class of the Paladin, and that depends on your mana usage. For example, the Avenger strike depletes 5 mana from your opponent if you strike them with the Avenger strike. However, with the Crusader, if you strike someone with the Crusader strike, it restores 10 mana to 2 nearby allies, if I'm correct. Yep. The next thing why this is OP. This takes 20% less damage. At the same time, there's one tiny little difference people might overlook. This, every time you hit someone with like a regular melee attack, it restores 10 mana, while the other two restores only 5. Now this is a big advantage to this class only, simply because mana is important here. This is why it makes some of the class stronger than the others. Not saying there is one, you know, in certain battles, obviously there's gonna be that one winner. Okay. Now the third thing that makes this class extremely powerful is its last ability. Now for those who don't know this last ability, it's called Inspiring Presence. What this does is it increases your movement speed and mana regeneration to you and all your allies. Let's give an example, shall we? Let's say someone takes your flag, like this guy, Chewbacca 334, took our flag. And if you use Inspiring Presence, it increases the movement speed, therefore we can easily catch up to him and destroy him. The second most important thing about this skill. Now the second most important thing about this skill is his mana regeneration. In the description it says increases you and your allies mana regeneration by 5. Meaning that in a large battle like this one, they can spam their wounding strikes of the warrior, Avenger strike of the paladin, or the fireballs of the mage quite fast. Look at this gameplay, for example. I'm constantly striking someone with my Crusader strike, allowing them to increase their mana by 10. Meaning they have an upper advantage because they could strike, well, they could use more of their power-ups than the opponent, leaving them to be stronger and actually win the battle. I'm not sure about this gameplay, I forgot. Did I win this one? Let me see. Oh, I'm restoring, lag, blah blah blah. I'm hitting everyone. Oh, I'm getting destroyed. And I activate Inspiring Presence, and look how fast my mana regenerates. Look at that speed. That means everyone, well, excuse me, everyone in this capture point right now is having the same mana regeneration as I am. Don't you guys think this is insane? Look at the mana regeneration. That is crazy. Think of how many wounding strikes, fireball, Avenger strike you can throw out there in a group. God. Well, anyway, this is why I think Crusader is actually one of the strongest characters, or strongest class, excuse me. But people don't realize that. In each game, like in Domination, where there's 30 players on each team, if 4 of them were Crusaders, just 4. Actually, that's a lot out of 30 players. But if four players chose Crusader, that would turn the entire game. The entire gameplay. This is another example of a battlefield. I think the number one reason why people don't choose this class as much is because with this, it's really hard to get top healing and top damage. Simply because this is a supportive class. You really can't do much. At the same time, you won't get as much as recognition. If someone heals you, like with a water bolt, with an Aquamancer, it'll tell you who healed you. But with this, it doesn't tell you. It just simply don't. It just happens. Your mana regeneration reaches that point where you can use it again, and yeah, you really can't be. You're really the underdog here. People don't know you as much if you do something. do. So yeah, that's why I think it's the underdog. But anyway, this is a real strong class. Yeah, that's really it for this tips and trick video. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.